How's it going, everybody out there? Coach Mark, and today what I want to do is give you a simple 3-ingredient recipe for a high-protein pudding dessert. If you're somebody like me that likes to have a little bit of dessert after dinner, well, this is the recipe for you. This isn't my own recipe. I've actually found this online. If you guys follow Remington James, he's fantastic when it comes to having low-calorie, high-dense foods and transforming your recipes, which I greatly recommend you do. This way you don't feel like you're on a diet, right? You're not restricting yourself from eating anything. And if you like dessert, like I said, like me, this is something you can throw together. It's 3 simple ingredients. It doesn't take long to do it, and you're gonna thank me if you try it. All right, so before we get started, let's go over what you're gonna need to make this other than the 3 simple ingredients. First, we wanna make sure that we do have our food scale because we are gonna have to measure out some of the ingredients. Like I said, there's only 3, so not much. Also, you're going to need a handy-dandy food bowl. And to mix it together, you don't need what I have. I have one of these little whisk blenders. You can find this here on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description below. But it's really cool because you can even mix your protein shakes with it. Very simple to use. Or if you just have a hand blender or a hand whisk, that's totally fine as well, okay? So first things first, let's go over the 3 ingredients that we need for this high-protein pudding dessert recipe. First things first is you need some type of pudding, right? Obviously. So this is a 0 sugar Jello pudding mix. Me, I'm a little bit old fashioned in the sense I like butterscotch, right? I know it's typically like grandpa's flavor, but I like butterscotch. It mixes well. There's a ton of these different flavors you could find in the store. And this one in particular is only 20 calories per serving. And there's 4 servings within this packet, right? So you do the math, it's only 80 calories for the whole thing. We're going to use the whole thing. Second ingredient is unsweetened vanilla almond milk. I go with the vanilla because it adds a little bit of flavor to it, but this is great, and you don't have to use this brand. I'm not sponsored by these brands at all by any means. I'm just going over what I use in my recipe. You can finagle it with whatever brands or ingredients you prefer. This is what I use, so if you want to have the same amount of calories and protein, you can follow along with me. What's great about this is it's only 30 calories per serving, and this is where we're going to need that food scale because we need to measure at 240 milliliters, which is what 1 serving of this vanilla almond milk is, and then we'll go from there. And last but not least is, if you've seen these in the store, Core Life protein drink, right? This is just the vanilla flavor. Now they have the 26 grams of protein per shake. Then they have ones that have 42 grams of protein per shake, 42 or 46 grams, I believe. It's a little overkill. I feel like I can go with this. And sometimes what I'll do is if I want to add more protein to this ingredient, I'll just grab one of my protein powders, take a scoop and throw it on in the mixing bowl, mix it on in. So now I'm adding more protein, usually depending on the protein powder, anywhere from 20 to 25 grams of protein per scoop. But to keep this basic and simple, we're going to use these 3 main ingredients, okay? So now first things first, we want to turn on our scale. So turn it on, and we want to set the measurement to milliliters because remember, we're going to measure out our almond milk for 1 serving, and it's going to be 240 milliliters. So we're going to take our bowl, put it on the scale. Now your scale is going to measure your bowl, right? So we want to tare that. So just tear the weight down so it comes back down to 0. Now we're going to add in 240 milliliters or 1 serving of your unsweetened vanilla almond milk, if that's the almond milk of choice for you, or any nut milk for that example. Now remember, if we're trying to keep the calories low, we want to choose low calorie options. So again, we need 240 milliliters. We're almost there. Oh, almost. There we go. All right, we went a little bit over, a couple little grams over, not much. We were at 242. That's close enough, right? Second ingredient, Core Power Protein Shake. Very simple. Unseal it. I already did that. We're going to open it up, give it a little shake before you dump it in. I've already done that. We're going to just dump the whole thing in there. We know this whole thing contains 170 calories plus 30 here. So we're at 200 calories. Not too bad. And then now finally, we're going to add in our whole packet of Jello mix. In my case, butterscotch. Don't make fun of me. I am not a grandpa. Not yet. One day I hope to be. So we're just going to cut the top off of this and dump in the whole bag of Jell-O mix. Now we're going to take our handy dandy immersion blender and we're going to get it in there and mix it up until we don't see any more chunks anymore. We want to try to avoid a lot of bubbles. This is where, if this thing's starting to create a lot of bubbles, if this is what you're using, just grab a hand whisk and mix it up until it's nice and smooth, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Let's get started. All right, now that we've got it mixed up and ready to go, now you can do one of two things. You can just put this right in the refrigerator, let it cool, let it thicken overnight, or you can separate it like I like to do. And put it in two separate dishes. You can have one in the morning, one in the afternoon, or heck, if you're just trying to watch calories that much, just have one at night before bed or after dinner for your dessert. And you can spread it out a little bit further. I typically would spread it out into 2 bowls if I add another scoop of protein powder in there. So you don't have to do that if you want to just have one meal. Remember, this whole recipe, this whole bowl of pudding only has 280 calories in it. So not bad. Right? And it's got 27 grams of protein. You got 25 grams, you got 26 grams from the protein shake, not 25 grams. And then you got 1 gram of protein with the almond milk. So you got 27 grams of protein in here. And it's a fantastic, delicious snack that you can have and make very easily. It doesn't take much time to put together. And it's very easy to use. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate it. I'm going to put it into these dishes. And then I'm going to show you what it looks like once it has been in the refrigerator for a little bit, probably overnight, and then show you what it looks like once we're ready. All right, guys, it's the next day, and guess what I got? I got the finished product of our high-protein pudding mix, and let me show you how this looks. I'm going to give it a quick taste test, show you the consistency of it. Now, depending on, if you remember what I said yesterday, yes, this is actually the next day. I didn't make one in advance and have one ready for me to go. I need to get used to doing that, probably save me some time on filming. But if you remember what I said yesterday, if you're mixing it and it causes a lot of air bubbles inside the mixture, if that happens after it sets, just mix it with your spoon. All that air bubble goes away and it's fine. But let's see how it's looking. Oh, it looks perfect. It looks perfect, guys. And give you a good close-up view of that. Nice consistency. Perfect. Good snack. We're going to do a quick taste test. And remember, this is butterscotch flavor. You don't have to get the grandpa flavor. You could try any of the other flavors they have. Just remember to get the 0 sugar ones or the low sugar ones so that they're very low in calories. Let's give this a taste test. And you can see it's nice and thick. It's not runny or anything like that. Man, I'll tell you what. If you're somebody that has a sweet tooth like me and likes to have dessert after dinner, this is a great substitute. It's all about manipulating your recipes, putting in healthier ingredients, lower calorie options, lower sugar options, higher protein options, so that you can still satisfy those cravings without restricting yourself from eating anything that you enjoy. I mean, what's the sense? You're going to restrict stuff that you're eating, you're not going to enjoy it. And eventually, when you do go to eat it, you're going to eat so much of it that you're going to, jumping off it's just getting out of control, right? We want to make sure that we don't feel like we're on a diet, right? We just want to feel like we have a healthier lifestyle. This is one of those recipes that you can easily manipulate. You saw how easy it was for me to put this together yesterday. 3 ingredients, possibly 4 if you want to add another scoop of protein powder in there. Or if you're like me, sometimes I like a little texture, and depending on how many calories you have for the day, you can add a little bit of granola in here, maybe a little bit of fresh fruit. Heck, you could even go as far as doing a couple Oreo thins. 3 Oreo thins is like 100 calories. I mean, it's not much, right? Do you want to go that far? No, not necessarily, but you can. The beautiful thing about counting calories is that you can fit in some of the things that are really not the best for you. I always say this, you could eat bad every once in a while, it's not going to hurt you. Just like you can eat good every once in a while, and it's not going to help you, okay? But as long as you're consistently making smarter choices like this, manipulating your recipes so that you're having low caloric, high dense foods, that's the way to go. Listen, if you like videos like this, and you want me to continue making recipes that I can switch up, maybe some of your favorites, just let me know in the comments. I could try to do any recipe that you throw in there and make a lower calorie version of that, the best that I can. And I'll keep putting up some of the recipes that I like to make so that you get a good idea. And if you want to try it on your own, you could do that. If you try it, let me know. Put some comments down there for me so that you can tell me how you liked it, how you enjoyed it. If you switched the flavor, let me know what flavor you used. And if you do me a favor, just like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna keep putting stuff like this up. I'm toying around with some other like top 10, top 3 different videos as well I'm gonna be putting on the channel. As far as like home gym equipment, home gym workout stations, stuff like that. So anyway, hope to see you on the next video and enjoy your pudding.